you the Keymaster?
All right, and welcome back to another episode of DEStalks. I'm Chase, your host, along with my co-host, Rob. Salutations. That's cute.
Hello from the deep. That's my, what do they call it? That's my pageant wave. Turn the light bulb, turn the light bulb, turn the light bulb.
Who is known for doing that wave inside of a car? She died inside of a car. Not she was known for it, but she died inside of a car known for that wave.
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana.
Really?
That's the Princess Diana wave.
Dirty Diana.
Well, all right. Welcome to DEStalks. We're excited to have you here. It is colder than snot in Kansas City, and I'm tired of it.
It's nice here in Texas. You should come on down, man.
Well, I should come on down because I am sitting in my house doing business, doing a podcast, and I have a jacket on because it's cold in my house.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah. That was us last week. Had the little personal space heater up under my feet, even though I'm inside. It was too cold, man.
Keep your warm?
Yes, dude. Texans don't do well in cold.
That's true. When I lived in Texas, I remember coming from Fort Drum, New York, upstate New York, right? We got down there. People were pulling out their parkas, their big down coats in the 40s.
People are still wearing them this morning, and it was 52. It's a bit much.
Well, I can't talk too much trash. My wife wears her parka out whenever it's 50 degrees. So,
yeah. I mean,
but she's a sissy.
Shout out. No, I'm kidding.
Shout out. What up, girl? All right. Well, we got some news coming out today. Some great news coming out of Penn State that I kind of want to hit here. Congratulations to Miss Diaz, Marine Corps veteran. She has now been appointed, correct me if I'm wrong on this, on the title, she's the Director of Veterans.
Of the business operations, the new business operations center.
There you
Penn
go.
State,
Veterans Business Outreach Center at Penn State. We could never, we are so proud to have another one of our fellow military members just getting up there and knocking out the park. And especially me as a Marine. I love the fact that a female Marine especially is up there knocking it out of the park. Congratulations, Miss Diaz. We wish you continued and sustained success in your career. Keep doing good things, man.
Yes.
Keep doing good things.
Yes.
If you would like to come on our podcast, Ms. Diaz, and talk about all the opportunities that Pennsylvania has for their veterans, please reach out at info@dynamiceducationalsolutions.org. We'd love to have you on. With that being said,
Expertly done. Love it.
Shameless. I'm shameless. I don't
care.
Man.
You're a hustler, and I love it.
Hey, I'm a small business owner too, Ms. Diaz.
Yeah, maybe you have something to teach us. Come on and educate us. I know that's one of the big... one of the big areas of focus for them is veterans and entrepreneurship. I love, and I think it was sponsored through VA's VBOC program.
It was.
And there's 30 some locations across the United States.
I think there's 31.
There you go. I mean, we're veterans in small business, so
but who's counting?
Come educate us.
Yeah. Seriously, we don't know everything. We would love for somebody who knows more than us to come and talk to us about how to do this right.
Yep. Well, congratulations. That's huge. Can't wait to see where that grows. And kudos to Penn State, the university overall, for investing and reinvesting in their community and the veteran community as a whole. So kudos all the way around.
We believe that that's only going to pay dividends because we service members, most of us come from a place of servant leadership, and we've been taught to reach across and down and bring others with us. So that's what we try to emulate here at DES, and I'm so glad that Ms. Diaz is doing the same thing up there at Penn State. It makes us so happy. Speaking of which, little sidetrack here, seeing how we just exhausted that.
Let's take it.
They're getting funding through the VBOC, right?
Yeah.
Didn't we just see a presidential order that came down about VBOC that might be affecting VBOC?
Does that affect
VBOC?
Yeah, I don't know. So it happened, I guess, yesterday or early this morning. And by yesterday, that would be the 27th of January. Today is the 28th. As when this episode is recorded, you will be listening on the 30th. But President Trump has signed an executive order To pause all federal grants and loans was the title of the article. However, there are some far reaching implications for that as far as federal dollars are concerned for assistance programs. If I have read and understood correctly, it shouldn't impact VA disability services, so you're still going to get that paycheck.
Whew.
You're still, VA, your GI Bill is still going to pay for your education. Now, where it could impact are those of us, myself included, who are a little more rural whenever we use VA community care for healthcare. There will be an impact to that. I don't know what that impact is. But for those of you, again, myself included, currently going back to school, the timing is impeccable because they have paused all federal grants for now. Now, understand this isn't like they're not stopping federal grants. They have paused to do a full review of the grant process and just to ensure that dollars are being spent appropriately is what we're being told. I am not a conspiracy theorist, and so I will take that at face value.
I, however, do love a good conspiracy. I wouldn't consider myself a conspiracy theorist. I am a conspiracy theorist enthusiast.
I'm a conspiracy enthusiast.
I can't help it.
They entertain me.
They entertain me, okay? And if we're being honest, I find the psychology of the people who buy into conspiracy theories easily. I find those people to be interesting people, and I like to talk to them. So it's mostly from a scientific standpoint because I just want to see what makes you tick.
Well,
I enjoy those kind of people.
If I may, taking what you just said, let's unpack. Do you find yourself discussing conspiracy theories with yourself in the mirror to psychoanalyze yourself?
Well, I mean, not me. The guy in the mirror, yeah, but not me.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I get that. That's not you. That's a different guy.
Well, I mean, at that time it is. I mean,
I'm here for you.
Mirrors are just portals into the multiverse. I mean, that's...
All right. That's a cool theory, man.
No. All satire aside, don't get me put on. Don't get me.
Jesus crazy. You'd be like the dude, the ancient aliens dude. You remember him? His hair, poof. Aliens are real.
There you go. Or in my case, I'd have to dye my beard white and be the guy with the big white beard that does that right beside that guy because I don't have enough hair up here anymore to make it go up like that.
That's my bad, man. I apologize. I should know better. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to shame.
By the way, you can catch ancient aliens.
Get out. Not sponsored, but you could.
All right. Well, if we're bringing it back here, if there has been a funding that has been cut, what does that look like?
Whoa. Pause. It's not cut. It's under review. Let's choose our words carefully as to not incite a riot. It's under review. To our millions of followers out there, calm down. It's a review process. It's like an audit, man. They're auditing, right? They're auditing the, I don't recall the branches. I think it's economic welfare is the branch, something like that, economic management. So they're looking into social welfare programs. They're looking into federal loans associated with education. So the good news is that all, if not the vast majority of universities have kicked off the spring semester, which means your tuition, if you're currently enrolled in coursework, has already been satisfied. I don't think there should be an impact, but if there is an impact, let us know. Let us know. Yes. That way we can let other people know and they can get out ahead of that because
don't silo information.
No. Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that. Let us know in the comments.
If you're being impacted, that means other people are impacted, and
absolutely,
get that word out there. If it's not us, if you don't message us about it, there are great advocacy groups out there that can help you as well.
Yeah, and we'll link the article in the description below. Anything that we're talking about today, if you want to go and research on your own and draw your own conclusions, which I encourage you to, but since you're here listening to us, you get to hear our conclusion. But I'll link that article, that way y'all can check that out. But it is interesting, and it's something to not be fearful of, but certainly keep an eye on. Just keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah.
paused it for a reason, right? So, once they get to the root of why they paused it, they'll probably, let those funds back out. As I understand it, as long as it's not part of DEI and it's not fraud, waste, or abuse, because that seems to be this administration's biggest push, which is something that, as a non-commissioned officers, I could tell you right now, I had to say that pledge too, against fraud, waste, and abuse. Like we used, you remember signing that stuff, Robbo. Whenever you took on a property book, whenever you did any type of business, we had to be so careful. Went
I
down to the lowest
appreciate
bidder.
I appreciate your faith in me that you just assumed that I read through whatever it was I signed. I didn't read through my contract the first time, and I didn't read through it. I'm kidding. No, you're right. You're right. Yes, you're right. Fraud, waste, and abuse was the article that I signed whenever I signed over the property book at 22 SBCT in 2014.
Oh,
And so I remember that. I remember that day like it was yesterday.
yeah.
The glory
I remember
associated
signing
with
my
it.
first property book whenever I was with the Marine Corps and signing my life away to, several tens of millions
Huh?
of dollars and
Huh?
not understanding fully what I was signing my name to.
Yeah, no.
And saying, sure, why not? Yeah, I'll be accountable for all this. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll go
Yeah.
check on it for you.
Well,
That
let's
was
be
my
real.
mentality.
Let's be real. In that wearing that hat, you have a responsibility. But I can confirm to you that the next day after I signed for the property book at Brigade, I may or may not have had a much more comfortable chair behind my desk because that's my property.
In the military, we have this mantra that we say, with rank comes privilege, right? They skipped out on the responsibility part. With rank comes responsibility and privilege.
Who wants that? Yeah.
I get the nice chair because I spend all the time in it whenever you get to go home with your family. So just because I have a property book, that means that I am now tied here longer than you.
Zero losses, mind you. Zero
Zero
losses.
losses. Yep.
Zero losses. Okay. I was a good steward. But I did have a much more comfortable desk chair the next day, which I tactfully acquired while the rest of the unit was at JRTC.
Yeah, so you got to have that experience. I just went down and picked out the least beat up Humvee in the motor pool that I signed for. That's the one I made mine.
Listen, I got to the unit while they were at JRTC. Finders keepers, baby.
I had to deal with all the rear D stuff. That's why I get the nice chair.
Yes.
That's
Golly, it's so stressful around here. Okay, all right, bring me back. So we were talking about the pause on the federal loans and grants, things like that. I think you'll see if that freeze continues into March, then I think you'll see an impact to individuals, going into higher education, at the university level. So if you're applying for grants, trying to pay for that, last $2,000 worth of tuition, my hope is that issue is resolved rather quickly. But if it does go into March, then you could start seeing that little bit of strain. So plan accordingly. Have a backup plan. Have plan A, and then have a good plan B. That way you can move forward and execute.
Well, if you're anything like us, you have a plan C and D as well. So make sure that you have backups so that your federal funding will be affecting a lot more than just your education benefits, right? I mean, there was talks about Social Security might be affected, right?
So I pulled up the article because I want to just make sure I'm fact checking us right now. No fake news here. It says the White House said the pause would not impact Social Security or Medicare payments or assistance provided directly to individuals. That's a blanket term. But Social Security won't be impacted. If Social Security isn't impacted, then we can follow the breadcrumbs. VA disability will not be impacted.
Your retirement's not going to be affected. Your health care will not be affected. So veterans, this has a very small impact on us individually. Now, you as a whole, if you're a veteran, I know a lot of veterans use USA Jobs in order to move on to their next career. have that resume typed up and ready to go, because it might be time for you to find something else.
What a great segue into the next conversation, in that there is a federal hiring freeze. So don't go to USA Jobs if you're looking for something right now. But you and I were having a great conversation surrounding employment and employability yesterday.
We were.
If you are a current job seeker, you are in my thoughts and prayers. Man, it is a wild, wild west out there. It's crazy. I don't want to dive into it too much. I know it's tough. I know it's hard right now. Just keep your head down, keep grinding, keep doing what you need to do. But it's tough out there for individuals seeking employment, especially with the federal hiring freeze. I know there's a lot, as we transition from active duty service, a lot of service members rely heavily on those federal jobs. So we're thinking about you.
We are. And if you were furloughed, our heart goes out to you. Make sure that you reach out to those local businesses that are also probably hurting, that could probably use your services in the interim. I know a couple people up in my area, whenever they were furloughed, started picking up side gigs to get the gap. So if that's where you are, I'm sorry, there's not too much more I could do other than say, my heart's with you. And, if there's something that you need to talk out and you work through, I mean, info@dynamiceducationalsolutions.org. I'll try to help you work out through it. But
and I'll put it out there for anyone who is currently job seeking. If you are a veteran, because that is where my heart lies, inside of our veteran community. If you're a veteran and you're looking for a job and you're having a reach out to us, please. The very least I can do is introduce you to my network, and then Lord willing, you'll find something inside of that, because what Chase and I have found, and have a fantastic conversation coming your way, hopefully here very soon, with a former Army captain about whenever it comes to employment. Lots of times it's more about who you know than your qualifications. I have found that to be true in my professional career after the military.
So glad you said that. A lot of us left our hometowns and we had to come back, or we went to a new town, right? We retired someplace different than where we joined or grew up in. So that means that the social network is not there for most of us.
Yeah, we're not talking about Facebook. You're not talking about Facebook when you say social network. Explain that to me a little bit.
No, I'm talking about social network, meaning that you can actually pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, I have an idea. I don't have a job, right? I'm coming back. I'm retiring. I'm separating from service in 6 months. A lot of people don't have that. I know I didn't. Whenever I left the military, I'd been gone for too long. People had changed their phone numbers, moved on. I didn't know where they were. And this is, at the height of Facebook. It's still at its height, but, pretty early in Facebook, where people are still sharing, a lot of information, communicating via Facebook. And it was still very tough. So I would say make sure you pull on those social networks, meaning that if you worked with somebody in the past, make sure you keep good communications with them. If you enjoyed working with them in the past, you'll probably enjoy working with them in the future. And you never know what somebody might have available. It might be an entry-level position. I know somebody who I'm sitting on a podcast with right now who used a connection and worked themselves into a higher position at a number one research, led,
I did.
And worked really hard for that, and would not have been in that position if they didn't know somebody who got their foot through the front door. And the same thing for me as well. Most of my adult life and the jobs that I've enjoyed have come from a social network. The jobs that I have not enjoyed, that I've moved on very quickly from, usually are the ones that I applied for. God,
that you find on job boards. Yeah. Well, it's tough out there, man. It's tough out there. If you're a transitioning veteran, I think, we always talked about, for some of us, we're lucky enough to get, whenever we move and we PCS to a new duty station, we have our counterparts who is probably rank equivalent to you, kind of show you around, show you the ropes around the new installation, help you get settled in. The best equivalent of that in the civilian world, in my opinion, are business development groups. So if you're a new veteran transitioning and you know where you're going, look and see what business development associations, what groups are available to you for where you're headed next, and join those. Go to the meetings once a month. They're early in the morning. If you're here in Dallas, I'm with you. I hate it too. I don't like getting out and going at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, but the dividends pay for themselves.
Hey, the people who get up and get after it, we're not sleeping in. I guarantee you that. We're going to those business development groups in the mornings. We're meeting people, we're meeting and greeting, and that's the best way you can do. Another great resource for veterans that you're coming out that is a source that was dying out is now having a resurgence, which is your American Legions and your VFWs.
Yep.
Make sure that you check in with those guys. It's not a place where you go, and it's not a place like in the movies or like our parents anymore. Okay, the generation before. The VFW and American Legion have changed. They have morphed into something that we need, and is more of a social network. And they are moving towards that. So they have more hiring events. They're hosting more hiring events. They're having more things that are more applicable to our generation and the future needs of what we have. So make sure that you're joining those good military groups that are active in there. That will also give you some commonality and give you a common vernacular as you are leaving, and probably help soften the landing patch there as you transition from service. Those are the biggest things that we could say to y'all nowadays is good luck with the job search. We're here to help. So we know that education is key for that job search. So if you are transitioning from service and you're looking to get your education, that's what we do here. We remove financial barriers for our nation's heroes. So in order for you to continue to be successful in your life and continue to grow your life in a positive direction. So give us a call, or drop us an email. Drop us an email. Go to our website at dynamiceducationalsolutions.org. Drop us a line at info@dynamiceducationalsolutions.org. Or if you have something that you want to say publicly, drop a comment right here, whatever platform you're on. Drop a comment down here. I promise you, we will get to you. We will answer that question publicly. We will not, what do they call that? DM you, direct message.
Yeah.
I am today's years old when I officially understood what DM meant, and I'm a little embarrassed.
You probably should be.
I probably should be. I can't believe my brain.
That's okay.
Slid into anybody's DMs, so I did get that now.
That's okay. That's okay.
So slide on into our DMs if you want to. On Facebook, on Twitter. We're everywhere. All of your socials. Slide on over, shoot us a message, and let's get a conversation going.
Well, and I encourage you, like Chase, you said earlier, if you're facing an issue, if you have a question, you and I both know someone else out there has that same issue, has that same question. I encourage you to put yourself out there a little bit. Be courageous. This is your call to action, to be courageous. Drop it in the comment section below. Don't worry about it. No one's going to make fun of you. No one's going to tear you apart. There are no stupid questions. There are no stupid questions. There are no overly personal stuff. Just no overly personal stuff in the comment section. But if you have a question, please ask it below in the comment section. We're happy to answer, and we will answer you to the best of our ability. And then if you want to take it private, we can absolutely do that and get down in the weeds with the answers.
Yep. Ask silly. There are no stupid questions, though there are silly questions. Make sure they're on topic, or else you will get heavy sarcasm directed back towards you in our messaging.
Guaranteed.
It's who we are. We keep it minimally professional here at DES. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that if you have made it in the video this far, hit that like, hit that subscribe, okay? Hit that share, because there's somebody else out there that is dying to hear this information.
I have something, if I may, before we go.
I always do this. I'm getting down. I get into a rhythm of a shutdown wrap up.
That's because you never.
I've got one more thing, man.
You never let me go. Let's air it out. All right. You never asked me.
Let's not air it out.
Rob, do you have anything else for everybody? I may. This time it's important though.
Hey,
please.
Hey, Rob, you got anything else for everybody before we sign off?
You were so kind to ask. I do this time. So next week, we have a very, very special guest joining us on DEStalks that I am over the moon excited about. Miss Tiffany Barfield is going to be joining us on DEStalks. My
gosh, I forgot that Miss Barfield was coming on. Yes.
I am very excited about that. And we're going to be talking about aspirational living. More importantly, what it means to live in service of others, which, if you are a current or former military member, by God, that is what you have done, and I'm sure you continue to do today. But we're going to be importantly talking about it in education surrounding individuals and children with special needs is where Miss Barfield, that is where her expertise lie. And I promise you, that will be a passion-filled conversation that I am very much looking forward to. Very much looking forward to.
I am super excited.
Yep.
We met with her this week, and she is just, the energy around Miss Barfield is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Tiffany's a wonderful person, a great spirit, and has a lot to share. And she has a lot of good, for all my Marine friends out there, she got a lot of good trash. Okay? She got a lot of good trash to share.
She does.
We're excited to have her on. Thank you so much, Robbo. And with that being said, we are so excited to have Miss Barfield on for this coming week. Thank you so much, Rob, for making that introduction. I can't believe that I'm not even going to put that in there. Yes, we are so excited to have Miss Barfield on next week. She's a very interesting lady. It's going to be an exciting conversation. So make sure that you hit that like, share, and subscribe, or just hit the like button and subscribe button. More importantly, the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Okay, now that you hit the subscribe button, that's awesome. So make sure that you join us back next week for Miss Barfield coming out. She's going to have a great message for us. We're excited to see you there. Until then, keep it minimally professional, my friends. We'll see you there. Skadoosh.